Hello and welcome to this edition of Lens. I'm Michelle Camario.
And I'm Mary Marcos. Let's take a look at what's going on at North Bend. It's official. Students are going back in the building starting on Monday. Monday is hybrid 1 and next Friday, hybrid 2 will be in school. Fridays will also continue to be dismissal days. We hope you all got the chance to spend time with your families and enough time to recover from your food comas. North Penn is excited to welcome you guys back after 2 weeks of virtual learning and a Thanksgiving break. Joining me in today right now is Mr. Nicholson. Good afternoon, Mr. Nicholson.
Good afternoon, Miriam. How are you today?
I'm doing great today. So, important question. How was your Thanksgiving?
You know what? My Thanksgiving was great. I honestly, if you go back 2 weeks ago, I got everything I wanted. I got the turkey. The turkey was absolutely phenomenal. And I got the Dallas Cowboys loss. So it was the absolute perfect Thanksgiving. It was a little quieter and a few less people than typical, but it was a great Thanksgiving. How about you? You have a good Thanksgiving?
Yeah, mine was pretty well. Yeah, I did have a lot of turkey and a lot of food, and it's always the best in Thanksgiving, just feast on all the food. So the decision has been made, and we're allowed to go back to school for hybrid learning next week. Some students can be a little forgetful sometimes, especially with 2 weeks of virtual and Thanksgiving break. So, what are some things that you want to remind the students going back in the building?
Yeah, so I mean, just as it was in the first 2 weeks of hybrid, I just want to remind everyone, bring and wear your mask over your mouth and nose. Make sure you keep that on at all times, other than, when you're in the cafeteria eating. Maintain 6 feet of social distance whenever possible, and probably, and maybe most importantly, if you're not feeling well, stay home. You can log in from home. You can be present virtually. If you're not feeling well at all, don't risk it. Don't risk you, yourself, your friends, or your teachers, and just stay home. So wear the mask. Stay as far apart as you possibly can, and if you're not feeling well, just don't come in.
Well, speaking of staying at home, yes, some students might be into hybrid but would want to choose to stay at home. What are things that you want to tell the parents about attendance beforehand?
Yeah, sure. So on any given day, if a hybrid student isn't feeling well or for whatever reason wants to stay home, realistically, there's nothing that has to be done. Parents can call in and let the attendance secretary in the home office know that the student won't be in that day. But as long as you as students log in on every period or at every period from home, even on your in-person day, you'll be marked as being present. So it's really important, like I said, if you're not feeling well, or anything else is going on that you're not comfortable coming into the building, that you do stay home. But just make sure you're logged into all 7 or 8 periods of your day, so you make sure you get credit for attendance that day.
Great. Well, that's all the running questions I have for you today. Thank you so much, Mr. Nicholson, for your time.
Thank you, Miriam. Have a great weekend. We'll see you next week.
Mr. Brumball is back again this week to test your knowledge on this week's Brumball Challenge.
Hey, welcome to this week's Brumball Challenge. With Pennsylvania's state legislature and Pennsylvania's electoral votes being the focus of attention nationwide, what important anniversary occurred on this date in Pennsylvania history? The answer when we get back.
Since September, our North Penn Theater crew has been working very hard in trying to put on a show for us this fall. Though there has been some adjusting to do because of our circumstances, they have managed to push safely through during this pandemic. The show must go on. Let's take a look at what some of these students had to say.
Hello, my name is Keenan Washington. I am a senior, a career study student with Mrs. Roney, and I am heavily involved with the fall, not so fall, show Breathing Through COVID.
North Penn High School Theater has been in the process of creating Breathing Through COVID, which started in the summer with brainstorming, talking about all the ideas and things going on in 2020, which include COVID, obviously.
What you can expect to see when the show is complete, ready to go, in its final form awesomeness, is a myriad of student voices and experiences and skits about everything that's been going on in the quarantine and COVID, because this whole thing has affected all of us in so many different ways, and so many things have come from this time.
Basically, everything that happened in 2020 with COVID and everything going around us reflected through dance, singing, and skits that the students created along with the staff.
The show is January 15th through the 17th. Be there or be square. More details about the show coming soon.
We want to congratulate culinary arts student Julia Fredericks for being selected North Montco Technical Career Students of the Month. We are very proud of your achievement representing North Penn well.
We can only use a little light in our lives right now, and the North Penn Art Department is on it. The Art Department announced their virtual art show for the 2020-2021 school year. Starting this past December 1st, one inspiring piece of artwork from one creative art student will be shared and showcased every day for 50 days straight. Don't miss out on all of the creativity. Check out the Art Department's Twitter and Instagram, both at NPSDART, to keep up with all of these inspiring students' works of art.
At the high school, you'll never get bored with how many sports, clubs, and activities there are to participate in. This week, we are featuring the Enact Club on this edition of Club Spotlight.
Hey everybody, Mr. Collier here. I am a science teacher at North Penn High School and the faculty advisor of our Environmental Action Club, which is called ENACT. What we seek to do is make our North Penn community more environmentally conscious as well as more sustainable.
I'm Hannah and I'm one of the co-presidents of ENACT. One of the first events we have in the fall, which also happens to be one of our newest events, is the Electronics Recycling Day event. During that event, our student volunteers help load electronics from the long line of cars to the trucks. And during our first event, we were able to collect 38,000 pounds of electronics and over $1,234 in donations. With the help of PAR Recycling Works, this event encourages the community to dispose of their electronics responsibly.
In this club, we usually try to appeal to everyone and have a fun time.
Hi everyone, my name is JD and I'm the secretary for ENACT. In addition to the events and activities that we offer, our club is also passionate about making changes around the school that benefit our environment. In the past, our club has created the Manna on Main Street lunch donation system, where unopened food can be delivered to the organization to help decrease waste and help out others in need. As a club, we have also raised enough money to buy a new sustainable water fountain for the cafeteria and new filters for other sustainable fountains around the school.
Well, let's get down into this week's Lowdown. Just a reminder for students taking the SAT tomorrow at different schools. Get a good night's sleep. It is important for you to be well rested, hydrated, and prepared for tomorrow's exam. Make sure to eat a nutritious breakfast beforehand. Bring your ID, number 2 pencil, a calculator, a snack, and water. Scheduled SAT exams at North Penn are canceled due to Montgomery County closures. Good luck. Seniors, if you haven't already scheduled an appointment for your senior portraits occurring on December 14th to the 15th at Life Touch Studio, the link is found in the Senior December newsletter email from November 23rd. Another quick reminder for seniors who are interested in being featured in the yearbook to tell your parents to place your baby picture and message orders. To place an order, visit www.justin.com and choose recognition ads. That's the Lowdown for this week.
We asked you to send us your answers, and here's what you sent us. One student in particular always has an answer for us. So here's what she has to say about this week's question of the week.
I like to sleep with my socks off because, air circulation. It's kind of important.
Did you tweet your answer to @NPTV for this week's Brumball challenge? Let's check in with Mr. Brumball himself with the answer.
Hey, the answer you've all been waiting for. On this date, December 4th, 1682, 338 years ago, the brand new colony of Pennsylvania held its first assembly meeting in present-day Chester. Bet you didn't know that? Now you do. Thanks for playing this week's Brumball Challenge.
There are no winners for this week's Brumball Challenge. So that's all we have on this edition of Mornings. I'm Michelle Canario.
And I'm Mary Mack. Have a great Friday, North Penn.